The con artist who fooled Leonardo DiCaprio, meet Jho Low, stole $4.5 billion from his own country, paid celebrities millions to party, disappeared without a trace. Here's how he pulled off the biggest scam you've never heard of. Jho Low grew up rich in Malaysia. He went to England for boarding school. There, he met kids of billionaires. He realized his family's millions were pocket change, so he decided he'd fake it if he couldn't match their wealth. At 16, Jho invited his rich classmates on vacation. He borrowed a yacht, swapped family photos, and pretended it was his. His new friends bought it. And Jho had a major realization: appearances greater than reality. At Wharton University, Jho perfected his act. Drove a leased Lexus, claimed it was his. Plagiarized Wall Street reports, pretended they were his ideas. Threw lavish parties, stalled payments to vendors. No one questioned a thing. At this point, Jho wanted something greater: power. He started making friends with royalty, billionaires, and political families. By his early 20s, his network became powerful enough to execute his plan, robbing his country blind. Malaysia's deputy prime minister was his friend's father. Jho convinced him to create a sovereign wealth fund called 1MDB, officially to help the economy. Secretly, to help fund political campaigns and personal greed. Najib became prime minister. Jho controlled billions. Jho transferred $1 billion from 1MDB to a Saudi oil venture. But secretly, $700 million went to his own shell company, Good Star Limited. It was smooth, simple, almost too easy. He now had hundreds of millions in pure cash. He became known as the Asian Gatsby, partying alongside Leo DiCaprio, Paris Hilton, and Miranda Kerr. Private jets, Picasso paintings, Beverly Hills mansions. He didn't waste a dime. Now, Jho wanted influence, so he paid Hollywood stars $100,000 plus to party with him. Britney Spears even sang him Happy Birthday popping out of a cake. The party cost tens of millions. But Jho saw it as an investment. Then he made his boldest move yet, funding The Wolf of Wall Street. DiCaprio thanked Jho at the Golden Globes for funding a movie about financial fraud. With money stolen in a financial fraud? The irony was brutal. Jordan Belfort himself suspected Jho immediately, saying, "You wouldn't spend money you worked for like that." Meanwhile, Jho was burning through billions and needed more cash. It was time for his biggest con yet. In 2012, Jho teamed with Goldman Sachs to sell $6.5 billion in bonds. This came with a promise to build power plants for investors. He secretly funneled billions offshore, bribing bankers. Goldman Sachs pocketed $600 million. Jho got billions more. Here's where it all fell apart. Emails leaked. Whistleblowers came forward. Malaysians discovered they'd been robbed of billions. Najib soon lost power. Police found $274 million in cash and jewelry hidden in his mansion. Today, Najib is imprisoned. Goldman Sachs paid billions in fines. But Jho Low? He disappeared. Possibly hiding in China. He's still wanted by authorities worldwide. The craziest part? Despite endless money, power, and fame, Jho Low was never happy. He spent a lifetime chasing validation from others, spending billions to impress people who never truly cared. Jho Low built a billion-dollar scam by mastering appearances. Imagine if he'd used those skills for good, building trust and influence rooted in value instead of lies. Real wealth is a loyal audience you don't need to deceive. Trust is everything. Jho Low chased status with stolen money. Now he's hiding, alone, and forgotten. Build honestly, and you'll have influence that money can't buy.